Sandra. Again, feet a little wider apart. That'll go. So I'll just hang around a bit. Oh, well, that was pretty nice. I didn't even have to, really. She started to free her neck and go up more. Did you notice that? One of the nice things about this stuff, my brother, being an osteopath down at Mount Martha, along the Mornington Peninsula, he said to me once, you know, in my work, he said, I have two modes of using my hands, palpation and manipulation. Palpation is, he puts his hands on, it's a pompous word that just means feeling. You put your hands on and feel. And you assess what's going on, and you decide what to do, and then you manipulate. One of the nice things about this is if I put my hand on Sandra, and as I did, and I direct myself to open up and expand so I can feel, you might call that palpating, actually she responded right away. Because there's no real separation in Alexander work between those two modes of using your hands. Actually, the way you as the teacher organize yourself, just come into the chair there, Sandra. The way you organize yourself to feel is actually the basis of how you encourage change in the other person. It's all one and the same. Does that make sense to people? Yeah. But what then happens, you see, now I'm feeling, let's go a little further with this. So I get a sense that Sandra could use a little more support in her upper back. So I'm here and I'm directing myself, and my hand is in an open, oh, she's too good, she's too good. She just, she's ahead of the game. Before I even added anything further, she started coming up more out of here. Yeah. What I was going to do was actually literally give her a little more support by bringing my hand more, there we are, more firmly into her. That's right. And she'll open up even more. So in a sense, I'm doing something. But I'm doing it without losing any of that openness that allows me to feel. And I think a great deal of the skill of hands-on work lies in a two-part process. Learning how to really open yourself up, internal expansion, lengthening and widening, in such a way that that expansion goes right through your arms and legs, feet and hands, so you can really get that whole body, whole nervous system, open connection to the other person. That allows a two-way exchange. I can feel more of what's happening in Sandra, and my direction can have a positive, helpful influence on her, I hope. But there's a part two, which is often that's not enough. People need, there we are, Sandra, that's right, right on up to, that's it. I'm giving her a little uplift through the spine there and through that shoulder, and she can respond to it. When I do that little extra with my hands, I'm doing it without losing or compromising the whole internal expansion in myself. What I'm not doing, if I mimic, you know, there's her, I was there and I was there, I'm not doing anything like that. You okay?
That's my favorite.
If you can learn not to squeeze yourself, you can do anything with your hands, provided you don't squeeze yourself.
So that's point two. You can do anything with your hands,
Yes,
provided you don't
that's
squeeze
part
yourself.
two, and,
Yeah.
and I like these days to call that doing on a non-doing foundation. And I think that's a very important skill. So I'll just exaggerate a little, because Sandra responds beautifully. You see, there's a little bit of a pull down the sides of your neck there. but you're dealing with it very well. You're directing. You're gradually improving the situation. I'll just give you a little further help, a little hint with my hands, fingers, thumb tips. There we are, like that. I moved you up a little bit. Would you say? You went with it pretty well, though, didn't you?
John,
Hello?
would you say that where you put your hands also comes out of your own primary control?
Don't know what that
He wouldn't
means.
use
Tell me
that
what
word.
that means.
Well, people often say, why do you put your hands there? Have you had that question?
Why do I put my hands
Yeah,
there?
like why did you choose to do that then?
Because I felt she could do with some help there.
Okay, so that's,
Because that's a place where she's interfering with
yeah.
her primary control.
So that information you got because you were free enough in yourself, expanded enough in yourself to receive it from
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. You start to receive that kind. You start to. I mean, it sounds weird at first, but it's not weird at all.
Mm.
I tell you one way I explain it. I'm going to mess around with your clothes. In a perfectly lawful way. Okay? It's like if I was holding the top of the dress there,
Yeah.
and something had gotten caught up in the fabric down here, I would feel,
Yeah.
if I make a little movement, oh, something's in the way down there.
Yeah.
It's that basic. It's
Yeah.
not esoteric. The word intuition gets kicked around, but it's a refined, tactile sensitivity.
Mm.
That's partly also because I'm very familiar with the sense of integrated openness in myself. That also makes it easier for me to feel restrictions to it in another person. That is really nice, Sandra. Very, very nice.
And can I just ask, with your question, I'm just wondering, with having integrated openness in yourself, what if you don't have integrated openness in yourself? How would that feed into your hands? Are you going to misread information?
Let me answer that in a second. She's coming beautifully. There, you let yourself come back a little and send your head up. Nice, nice. And so what I'm interested in, again, that wasn't perfect, but it was good. It was good. You know, so we're not perfectionists. It was good. And, you know, in fact, we won't even try to do it again because we're not perfectionists. We'll settle for that being good. Okay?
Thank
Leave it there. Let me come to your question in a moment.